A philosopher once suggested that you should try with a little help from your friends. Sit back, catch your breath, and let's see what the co-pilots can do at the wheel of the Lou Reed bandwagon. After he was finished with Live, Take No Prisoners, Lou Reed did not set out specifically to shock us with a radical left turn into jazz fusion and funk experimentation. It just kind of happened that way, thanks to the tight-knit band of musicians with whom Lou had become quite comfortable. What drove Reed more than anything during the last few months of 1978 was a realization that he needed to start getting his shit together if he hoped to know what life could be like as a 40-something rock star. Lou met Sylvia Morales at CBGB in 1977, at a time when Lou was pretty much at rock bottom. He was drowning his sorrow in gallons of scotch after his breakup with Rachel Humphreys, and he was eating Desoxyn like it was candy to help him focus on salvaging Street Hassle. Lou was a complete mess. Sylvia's spidey senses told her that she had met someone who really needed her help. And Lou, always on the lookout for a guiding light, realized pretty quickly that Mother Hen Sylvia, business-savvy graphics designer by day and part-time dominatrix by night, was the perfect companion for him at that point in his life. Sylvia began her rehabilitation project by getting Lou as far away as possible from the action in Manhattan. Lou wrapped up his Street Hassle tour with a few shows in Germany in August 1978 and did not have anywhere to be for the next 6 months. The couple agreed that time could be put to good use getting to know each other over some much-needed rest and relaxation. Sylvia whisked Lou away to a rental place she found near the foot of the Pocono Mountains, a good 2-hour drive away from New York City in light traffic. Lou found the getaway invigorating. With Sylvia watching him like a hawk, Lou did not have much trouble at all with the detox process. He spent much of his time scribbling notes and sketching out song lyrics in his journal. He got through some of his toughest periods by heading over to a nearby resort arcade and releasing his nervous energy into a room full of excellent pinball machines. He would take a drive into the city every now and then to check in on his bandmates, whom he often would find jamming together and working up some compositions in their native jazz and funk musical dialects. He became particularly enthralled with the free jazz saxophonist Marty Fogel was making with trumpet player Don Cherry, who played in Ornette Coleman's bands in the 50s and 60s and had turned up as a guest performer at a few of Reed's shows over the past couple of years. Lou had a great time during those visits with his buddies. He enjoyed sitting in on their jam sessions, following their lead, learning some new musical tricks, and not worrying much about being the guy in charge. It occurred to him at some point that this could be the next album. Lou had been fiddling around with some lyrical ideas, but he hadn't been crafting much new music during his retreat. His words, their music, it could be a good mix. In the meantime, Lou got a phone call one autumn day from Bob Ezrin, his producer for the Berlin album a few years earlier. Ezrin was across town working with Nils Lofgren and was in a jam. Ezrin told Lou that Lofgren had composed some pretty good music for his 4th solo album, Nils, but they hit a brick wall and had not been able to generate much suitable lyrical content. The pair decided to recruit some help, and Ezrin asked Reed if he would be interested. Lou invited Lofgren out to his place for a get-acquainted weekend in the fall of 1978. Lou listened to some instrumental demos Nils had recorded and was intrigued. "Let me work on it," Lou told Nils. "I'll get back to you." Lofgren did hear back from Lou the following spring. Reed was with his band in Germany to do a few shows and record his next album, The Bells, in Manfred Schunk's binaural studio. One day off, Lou called Nils with the exciting news. He had written lyrics for 13 songs off Lofgren's compositions, and he spent a couple of hours on the phone with Nils, dictating all those lyrics. Lou kept 3 of those songs to use on The Bells, released by Arista Records in May 1979. Lofgren used 3 of them for Nils, which came out on A&M Records the following month. Lofgren eventually recorded the rest of those songs, most of them for his 2019 album, Blue with Lou. Reed was happy with the way The Bells turned out, but not many were on board. Clive Davis hated it, to the point that he decided it was time to get out of the Lou Reed business and just let the contract run out. Lester Bangs got it. He loved this record. But most critics were just confounded by The Bells and did not give it a lot of consideration. The public, for the most part, turned a deaf ear. The music of The Bells darts all over the edges of rock's fusion with jazz and funk. No surprise really, considering that these compositions came in from so many different directions. Here's what I think was the big problem. Most listeners get so frazzled by the schizophrenic sounds in this album that they miss the laser-focused introspection of these songs. Reed turned out some of his most soulful lyrics since the Velvet Underground's 3rd album, and not a lot of people noticed. These songs are deeply personal, and Lou Reed could do deeply personal really, really well when the mood struck.